Hi friends, welcome to EPG Pathshala. Friends, we are here to discuss about the history of regional films in India. Friends, the cinema of Mumbai, which is known as Bollywood or Hindi cinema, it is understood that because of its role and its identity, the Bollywood cinema shapes modern India as well as also creates and spreads new culture and fashion among the society. But apart from this, there is another stream that also gives an identity to regional cinema and regional community and vernacular languages. Friends, with the advent of first talkies of India, which is Alamara, came in 1931, the films began to made in vernacular languages and it started to give identity to this community. Like the Indian culture, Indian cinema is also immersed with one face with many voices. Films made in vernacular languages came to be known as regional films, and it is because of the name of languages which the each and every state has the variation. With the influence of first talkies, Alamara, the regional films began to screened up with their creation in different languages like Tamil, Telugu, Gujarati, Kannada, Malayalam, Bhojpuri, and etc. Friends, in this category, vernacular film industries regional film industries started to begin films during the decades of 40s. In this series, the Bengali cinema has gained more popularity. It is understood that the Bengali cinema is the only cinema that has made it recognition on international panorama. The success of Ardeshir M. Irani's first talkie Alamara inspired filmmakers to make films in their native languages. Thus, films started to be made in Malayalam, Oriya, Gujarati, Bengali, Tamil, Telugu, Bhojpuri, Kannada, Garhwali, Rajasthani, and so on and so forth. The theme of these films was often mythological. Let us now examine some of these vernacular film industries separately. Let us have our eyes on Gujarati cinema. Gujarati cinema started its journey in 1922. It is called Dhollywood. Due to its contributions to the Indian cinema, Gujarati cinema has gained popularity among regional film industries in India. Gujarati films have dealt with issues ranging from mythological to historical and from social to political ones. There are so many actors and directors from Gujarati cinema who work in Hindi cinemas or what is popularly known as Bollywood. Even before the screening of the first talkie Alamara, a short Gujarati sound film entitled Chau Chau Murabo was released on 4 February 1931 in Bombay. It included the song Mane Mankad Karade, which is the translation in English, A Bug Bites Me, which was the first sound heard in any Indian film. It was produced by Manik Lal Patel with lyrics and dialogue by Natwar Shyam. The first Gujarati feature film entitled Mumbaini Sekhani was released on 9th April 1932. It was a short two-reel film. The first full-length Gujarati sound feature film Narsimha Mehta was also released in the year of 1932. It was directed by Nanuk Bhai Vakil. The film's cast featured Mohanlal, Maruti Rao, Master Manohar, and Miss Mehta. It belonged to Saint film genre and was based on the life of the Saint Narsimha Mehta, who observed a creed that was followed centuries later by Mahatma Gandhi. The film was matchless as it avoided any depiction of miracles. Another social movie, Ghar Jamai, was released in the year 1935, which was directed by Homi Master. The film starred Hira Jamna, Baby Noorjahan, Amu, Alimia, Jamshedji, and Ghulam Rasool. The film featured a resident's son-in-law, Ghar Jamai, and his escapes as well as his problematic attitude towards the freedom of women. It was a comedy and turned out to be a major success in the industry. The scripts and stories dealt in Gujarati films are intrinsically humane. They included relationship and family oriented subjects with human aspirations and deal with the Indian family culture. Malayalam cinema. Kerala is known as one of the rich states on all parameters. Janambika was directed by S. Notani in 1940. Then Prahlada film came in 1941, which was directed by K. Subramaniam of Madras and featured Guru Gopinath and Tanakmani Gopinath. Then the director P. J. Cherian came with Nirmala in 1948. It was the first film that explored the possibility of music and songs in cinema. The lyrics of the films were composed by the legendary Malayalam poet G. Shankar Kuru. The song became very popular and the song had dance sequence became essential ingredients of Malayalam cinema. Another notable Malayalam film was Neela Kunji, which came on screen in 1954. The film had an authentic story that was written by renowned writer Urub and directed by the duo of P. Bhaskaran and Ramu Karyat. The film dealt with the issues of untouchability. This was also the first Malayalam film with outdoor shoots. It went on to achieve recognition at the national level. Malayalam cinema also felt the influence of new realism wave of French and Italian cinema. Newspaper Boy was a Malayalam movie inspired by this wave. It was directed by P. Ramdas in 1955. The period of 1970s witnessed a drastic change in the perspective of filmmakers and viewers of Kerala towards the cinema. At the heart of these changes were the emergence of young filmmakers and the advent of film society movements. Over the years, Malayalam cinema has come a long way, claiming many national awards. Malayalam cinema has been enriched by the services of a number of learned personalities with a flair for filmmaking. Prominent among them are Adur Gopalakrishnan, G. Arvindan, P. A. Becker, K. P. Kumaran, K. R. Mohana, etc. Adur introduced a new style of narrating a story. G. Arvindan took the movement of parallel cinema ahead with his critically acclaimed film Uttarayanam in 1974. Apart from them, P. A. Becker, K. P. Kumaran, K. R. Mohanan, M. T. Vasudevan Nair, Padmarajan and K. J. George and also brought laurels to the Malayalam cinema. Let us discuss about the Tamil cinema. Madras has been a center for film production in the South Indian languages, especially Tamil. The city has played a stellar role in the development of Indian cinema. Tamil cinema is regarded as the third largest film industry in India. The subject of Tamil films were mostly taken from Puranas and mythological. Tamil cinema started its journey with the release of its first silent film Kichaka in 1916. The first talkie of Tamil cinema was Kalidas, which was released in 1931 and contained in totally 50 songs. During those days in Tamil cinema, subject messages were elaborated through songs. It was similar to Bengali cinema when it came to elaborating an issues through various representations, just as it was a common practice among Bengali filmmakers to explain issues of film through jatra and drama. Tamil cinema also adapted the same way by bringing in drama, circus, and wrestling in its storytelling. The repertoire of the drama was limited to a few mythological which was written as musicals. The story was standardized as a series of songs. The whole journey of Tamil cinema can be categorized under three phases: the Puranic, mythological, and folklore period, that was from 1931 to 1950, and second, the melodramatic story period, from which was started from 1951 to 1975, and the third is the partly realistic anti-sentimental stories period from 1975 onwards. After the demise of M.G. Ramchandran in 1988, the Tamil film industry lost its speed, but attendance of Rajnikant, Jayalalitha, and etc. brought back the honor of Tamil cinema. Both Rajni and Jaya acted not only in Tamil films but also in Telugu and Hindi films too. Further, Tamil film industry was enriched by the arrival of legends like Mani Ratnam, A.R. Rahman, and Ilayya who gave and are still giving their best to the industry. They made Tamil film industry visible and popular on Indian map. Mani Ratnam is a prolific director who makes not only Tamil films but also Hindi, Kannada, and Telugu films. Many films in Tamil languages have been dubbed in other Indian languages too. Rajnikant's Robot, which was originally made in Tamil, and Prabhas and Anushka Shetty starred Bahubali and Bahubali 2, which were originally made in South Indian languages, went on to be dubbed in other languages too and claimed nationwide attention. These films underline the success of South Indian cinema. Bahubali and Bahubali 2, The Conclusion, were directed by S.S. Rajmouli. Bahubali was released in July 2015 and Bahubali 2, The Conclusion, was released in April 2017. These two films collected above 1000 crore rupees and were successful in foreign countries too. Let us discuss about the Bengali cinema. Cinema established its strong presence in both Bombay and Calcutta. The Bengali cinema is also known as Tollywood for the Bengali language. Film industry is based in Taliganj region of Kolkata. The origins of the nickname Tollywood is the result of portmanteau of the words Taliganj and Hollywood. Calcutta had a nascent film industry in the 1910s. The city remained the capital of India till 1911, and the field of art and theatre was at par with Bombay. Bengali cinema carved a niche for itself by producing some of India's best known filmmakers and films. Bengali witnessed the first screening of a film in 1896, only a few months after Lumire brothers showed their films in Bombay on 7th July 1896. The credit for bringing films to Bengal goes to Hiralal Sen, who started the Royal Bioscope Company and also making short films from around 1900. The earliest known Bengali film Bilwa Mangal was released in 1919 and based on the play of the same name by Urdu playwright Agha Hasra Kashmiri. It was produced by Madan Theatre Limited, Calcutta's giant film corporation, which controlled silent film distribution and a chain of cinema theatres across the subcontinent. New theatres produced such iconic films as Devki Bose Chandidas in 1932 and the first Taki version of Devdas in 1935, directed by Pramathesh Barua, with K.L. Sehgal starring in the film's Hindi version. New theatres films were more influenced by then Rabindra Sangeet and also assimilates the essence of work of Sharat Chandra Chatterjee. Sharat Chandra Chatterjee is regarded as the best-selling popular novelist in Kolkata. Satyajit Ray, Mrinal Sen, Tapan Sinha, and Ritwik Ghatak were some of the giants of Bengali films. Through their works, Bengali cinema continued to earn name and fame for 4 decades. After them, young talents such as Purnendu Patra, Buddhadev Dasgupta, Utplendu Chakravarti, Nitish Mukherjee, Gautam Chakravarti, Gautam Ghosh, and Aparna Sen took Bengali cinema ahead. The art creation of these intellectual giants with laurels abroad but find few exhibitors at home. During the 1950s, the Bengali cinema saw the emergence of its most popular star in Uttam Kumar and Suchitra Sen. They gave a new height to the industry. The best known event of the 50s Bengali cinema is nonetheless Pathar Panchali of Satyajit Ray, which was released in 1955. It was produced by the government of West Bengal. This film won the Best Human Document in the Cannes Film Festival in 1956. The film Pathar Panchali was appreciated by filmgoers and critics. Aparajita and Apur Sansar formed Satyajit Ray's Appu trilogy, which celebrated a silver jubilee in Calcutta. Noted Bengali actor Soumitra Chatterjee made a name for himself courtesy his role of Appu in Apur Sansar. Soumitra Chatterjee and Uttam Kumar became top male stars of Bengali cinema. They also worked in Ray's classic Charulata in 1964. Ray worked with Uttam Kumar in Nayak and in 1966, which was a film supposedly inspired by Uttam's iconic stardom. Finally, Satyajit Ray received an Oscar for his lifetime work days before his death on 23rd April 1992. It marked the end of an era, but the 90s also saw the rise of other young filmmakers in Bengali cinema industry. There were other Bengali filmmakers of repute too who gave new heights to Bengali cinema with their works. Prominent among them are Ritvik Ghatak, Manal Sen, Aparna Sen, Rituparno Ghosh, and others. Friends, now let us have a look on Bhojpuri cinema. In this series, Ganga Maiya To Hai Piri Chadhaibo was screened and released in 1962, and this was produced by Vishwanath Prasad Shahabadi and it was directed by Kundan Kumar. And friends, the decades of 90s saw a growth in Bhojpuri cinema. The films such as Mai, directed by Rajkumar Sharma, and Hamar Bhauji, directed by Kalpataru, did a great business at the box office. A milestone Bhojpuri films was Nadiya Ke Paar, which was directed by Govind Munish and starred by Sachin, Sadhana Singh, and Inder Thakur. Nadiya Ke Paar was a smash hit and it established Bhojpuri cinema on India's map. However, Bhojpuri films' popularity dipped after that, and by 1990, the industry seemed to be completely finished. But again, a new wind came for Bhojpuri cinema between 2001 and 2005. A film that gave a new recognition to the Bhojpuri cinema, that was Sasura Bada Paisa Wala, starred by Manoj Tiwari and Rani Chatterjee. This film was released in 2004 and directed by Ajay Sinha. The soundtrack of this film was directed by Lal Sinha. Lal Sinha is from Gaya in Bihar, who came to Mumbai in 2001 and started his career as a music director. Courtesy this film, Lal Sinha became the biggest name in Bhojpuri film industry. During the year 2008, Manoj Tiwari and Ravi Kishan were the leading actors of Bhojpuri films, and their fees increased with their name. The success of their films led to dramatic growth in Bhojpuri. Many famous figures from mainstream cinema like Amitabh Bachchan, Raja Murad, Mithun Chakravarti, Raj Babbar also worked in Bhojpuri film industry. Sujit Kumar, Kunal Sinha, Padma Khanna, Aruna Irani, and Bhagyashree were among the popular figures of Bhojpuri films industry in the past. At present, Dinesh Lal Yadav, Khesari Lal Yadav, Pawan Singh, Pakhi Hegde, Monalisa, Amrpali Dubey, Akshara Singh, and Kajal Raghwani are among the main faces in the Bhojpuri industry, who are working in Bhojpuri film industry and flying the flag of Bhojpuri line not only at the national level but also at the world level. Friends, I hope you will make optimum use of this module. Wish you good luck. Thank you.